Hey, what's going on, everyone, and welcome to the weekly live stream, man. Welcome to the Deceptilab. It's your boy Freeze, and today gonna talk about, we're gonna take a final look at those new Titans. So, for those of us on the Decepticon side, we're gonna be getting the Nemesis. For those on the Autobot side, you'll be getting the Arc. And we talked about it a little bit last week. Made it look really, it looks really really good. So uh just going to kind of take that final sneak peek. So if you got any particular combinations you want me to look at, let me know in the chat. And the batch broke for the combat bots today, so I want to actually take a look at the combat bots. And just the last couple of weeks we had a little bit of discussion about combat bots versus weapons and stuff like that, so I want to kind of take a look at that a little bit and show what I've been doing with my squad a little bit. And then I'll probably just do some preparation for this week's event. I hadn't set my teams up yet, so I'll probably go on my live server, mess around with that a little bit. And you know, um, obviously we got new ranks to the game, so talk about what I'm looking at for prioritizing as far as rank ups. So should be a pretty good stream. And with that, let's go ahead and take a look at this week's newsletter. With this week's event, it is called Arc Attack. And let's see what we got. So, this is going to be Alliance Totalizer, 2 million points. And so 2 million will get you the 4-star Titan. The 3-star is going to be at 505,000, so not too bad. I honestly thought it was going to go a little bit higher than that, but Space Ape said, hey, man, let's get this down here and a little bit of the lower level so everybody at least gets the new Titan as a 3-star. You're going to get 2,000 5-star shards, 100 total spark crystals, 375k a combat spark, 375k a regular spark, up to 7,000 4-star shards, 15k 3-star shards, 80k premium crystals, 5G metal power cores. And then we're going to get the new skips for your ranks. So there's going to be corporal, sergeant, and captain's skip. And so they said the corporal skip's going to be at 55k, the sergeant want to be at 250k, and the captain skip will be at 1 million. So talk about that a little bit more as we go along. Really, really nice price chart this go around. I was actually surprised when I saw the price charts come out, looking really, really good. I mean, I was just shocked at the sheer amount of total spark crystals. Um, Definitely gonna be needed, but I was like, I can't remember the last time I saw an event that had prizes quite this good. So really looking forward to that. It actually is kind of motivating because I don't feel like playing the event this week, but I'm gonna hammer it out, and so that's why I said I'm gonna sit down and start working on my event teams, typical battle zones, and there goes the concept art for the arc and the nemesis. So really, really cool looking, and iconic characters. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time, man. A lot of people been asking me throughout the week, is it worth getting the Arc of the Nemesis? 100% is worth it, just based off of what I've seen so far. And yeah, it's gonna be lit. Like I said, you've got the new ranks coming as well, and so you're gonna have the captain rank. So the price point is 25k character shards and 75k class shards. Uh, and you're gonna increase your bot health and damage. I was looking in the trap and I seen that Chris Harmon said he already got his first captain rank. He went for headstrong. So good choice. I feel like so absolutely worth ranking up one of the when it being one of the better bots in the game with headstrong and pipes. Um, so the apes also mentioned they're going to triple the war rewards and the war rewards, and so that means triple the alloy energon, spark and Z energon that you'll get in wars. So that'll start next week and it'll go on through the 4th of January. And they basically are using that as a fix for the Alliance HQ. As I'm sure a lot of you mid-level and lower-level players are aware, it's not possible to go in there to constantly donate at the rates that you need to donate at in order to maintain your Alliance HQ. Spark wise, the apes are looking for a permanent fix for that, but they said it's going to be the temporary fix. Which honestly, I was content with it at first until I was talking to a couple of friends and advisors of mine, and one of the things that they had mentioned, it was like, well, when we started having a conversation, I realized that I was like, man, you got to actually win these wars at the lower levels, like at the levels we're at. I play, in Prime League, very, very, very rarely in Cyber. I can't remember the last time I've been in the Cyber, but you're starting to get rewards in Prime League. You're getting rewards even when you lose. So at the lower levels, and you're not getting that, it's fully dependent on your team and if you can go out there and win. So it's a fix, but I, it, it does make you think maybe they should have just done like a giveaway for the holidays or something like that, especially since it's going to end right after New Year's. So we'll see how it goes. As always, make sure you check out all your content creators. We got Engineer Hoist, myself, Soldier, I just talked to in the chat. So if you see him kicking around there, say what's up to him. And of course, Sunstreaker Waza. And it kind of sucks, man, because Waza was supposed to go on today, but the test server was broken earlier, and all the stuff that he was going to discuss was on the test server. Um, and then they sent us a new build for it, and it was probably cutting it too close for him. So I was like, I know a lot of people last week were excited that we both on the same day. I'm still out here doing my thing with my son and his basketball stuff. So I'll be on Thursdays for a little bit, but yeah. So I was like, I didn't feel like going on at first either, but I say now I'm gonna go on. So we got some content creators running today. So let's see. We got, season 23. And like we said, we got the 4-star Titan event. Then we got a couple of easy 10Ks coming up the following weeks until we get to the endurance event. No, I do not have any information about the endurance bot yet, and it's honestly a little bit disturbing because Space Ape is going to go take a break over the next couple of weeks for the holidays, and I'm sure they still be doing some work. Nothing wrong with them getting a break, but we need the information so that people can start planning their and well, actually, they not we ain't got to plan the endurance event this time because it's going to be individual. I forgot all about that, but people want to know what it is that they're preparing for. Might want to budget, so we'll see how it goes. And you got kind of an interesting community corner this time. You got a couple of figures there, and again, look like they made a meme out there, the Phineas and Ferb meme. Pretty cool. Some bug fixes. So the Gnaw Sharpticon assets. There was a bug when Gnaw's ability would produce. That's actually funny. It would produce blue balls. Yeah, it had these little cubes going around. Just for I think it was doing sharks and spiders, but that's supposedly is fixed. I hadn't actually paid. Yeah, I think it was fixed. I didn't notice it when I was playing the war earlier today. Sentius Magnus and Sentius Malice. They didn't have the winter skin available last week. That should be fixed. That actually want to check on because that winter skin was looking pretty good, and I tried to equip it, and it did not work. So I want to check that later on. Dispatch missions. They had a bug when dispatching bots would they disappear from squads. That's now been fixed. I didn't realize that was a bug. I thought they designed it that way on purpose. So that's cool. Good quality of life change. And then with Blue Streak and Wild Rider, um, it said Blue Streak increases the damage on every ability cast, and all subsequent casts will be 300. Um, if you drop the combiner, the damage will reset back to 100. So they now put a fix in for that. They knew that when we had it in testing, and they didn't have enough time left to go and fix it. So I'm glad they finally fixed that. Uh, unfortunately, it's almost time for the next endurance event. So it's a little disappointing that it took that long, but that's going to be a massive improvement for all of you who went out and got Blue Streak and Wild Rider. And yeah, that'll be pretty cool. And that's all we got for the news. Check out Space Ape stream. They should be doing one right before Christmas when they're gonna start talking about. Well, I don't know what they're gonna talk about, but they're gonna. I imagine they probably do some kind of end of year wrap up. So that'll be cool. All right, let's see who we got in the chat. I see that Robert C4 was first, and I actually was gonna give him a Freezy chest for being first, but then he forgot about the stream as he mentioned down there in the chat. So, nah, I'm just messing with you. But Robert C4 hit me up and hit me up on Discord, get your Freezy chest. Mercenary Terry, my good friend and moderator. So and fellow content creator. So make sure you check him out. And I gotta say, because you don't use any social media, so I say I'd like to hook you up with a Freezy chest as well. We'll figure that one out as we go along, and then I'll do one for Lou Mega as well. So Lou Mega, hit me up on Discord, and I will get you a Freezy chest as well for you guys being the first three in the chat. Let's see. We got we got the homie E Rods in here. Thanks for joining. And let's see, Autobot Phil is with us again, as well as Canal Alatario. Thanks for joining us. Like as I mentioned earlier, my good friend and fellow content creator Soldier is in the chat. Thanks for joining. Big Joe's in the chat, as well as Big Blade, who is also a good friend and fellow content creator. Check him out, guys. Another content creator and good friend, Just Elite, is in the chat. Thanks for joining us, Just Elite. And I think JE actually you came to hang out with us at the Horror Family this weekend, right? For the event. You going for the 4-star? Who's going for the 4-star Titan? Let me know in the chat. I say I hopefully it's most of us because it's gonna be like that, man. You guys definitely want to go for that. Uh, good friend Jacada is in the chat. Thanks for joining, Jacada, as well as my teammate Candyman. Man, Candyman will probably put up all the points. He'll probably put up all the points for the 4-star Titan himself before I can even get started. But thanks for joining, buddy. And I mentioned earlier Chris Harmon, good friend and moderator, is in there. I know he's going for the 4-star. So, but thanks for joining, buddy. Uh, And then my, my good friend Trap asked, "What's in the cup?" That's his weekly question. I ain't even got a cup out here right now, bro, but not this time. I was gonna stop, man, because I was sitting up here just chatting for about an hour. I said, "Man, I should hit the store, go put something in my cup." But nah, I ain't even. Steven. Oh, wait a minute. I skipped over Michael Cooper is back with us again. Thanks, Michael Cooper. And Steven Sheh is with us again. Thanks for joining us, Steven. Yeah, just Elite just confirmed that he is. He's in Horde My Beer this weekend. Man, I would have had you come up there with us, man, if I'd have known. But yeah, thanks for that. All right, Terry says, "Get Big Blade the Freezy Crystal." All right, cool. I see Sunstreaker Waza up there. Yeah, man. I was just talking about you, man. Like, yeah, man, that was messed up, man. The daggone test server was broken up today, man. I was actually looking forward to your stream today. So yeah, well, thanks for joining mine. Oh, Big Joe's over there with yeah, Big Joe's over there joined us in the horde too. We got a lot of the horde in here. Get ready to go. Get ready to go for this 4-star. So that's good. Mike Berge says he's going for the Titan this weekend. And first time he done a big event in a long time. Well, this one's definitely gonna be worth it. It's a lot of good prizes, and to put the Titan at the end of all of that stuff, man, it's gonna be legit. So yeah, so that's looks like all we got so far. If I missed you, just give me a shout out in there. I give you, I'll give you a shout. So let me see something real quick. Let me actually get set up on my live account. Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna look at something real quick. So I actually had three polls that I had for that I've been saving for the batch break, and honestly, it's kind of been bothering me because like when I was waiting for the batch break, and we all were expecting it to be week 4 of this saga, and then nothing happened because we were thinking that the Sword of Balance was gonna come out, and I was like, that would have been cool. The problem is with the Sword of Balance, and I'm gonna make my screen smaller for a second. With the Sword of Balance, they decided that Space Ape wanted to put it in a. They want to try to sell it first, so they're gonna put it into I believe the external store. I don't know if they can put it in. They probably put it in both stores, but put it with a bunch of different goodies, and they're trying to find the price point for it because originally they were saying it was going to be 150K, but that's so we'll see what the price actually ends up being, but that's going to be for a short time, and then about 6 to 8 weeks later, it'll be well they're going to come out with a new weapon at the third quarter. I mean the first quarter, excuse me, late in the first quarter, so around the third month, around March, and then 6 to 8 weeks later they'll make weapons batches. Now, what I'm starting to look at though is how do all these batches compare to the weapons that we got out right now? And as I will say, this week while I was in war, I actually started messing around a little bit with the rust cannon, and so far I hadn't had too challenging of a war for me to try it out yet. But I was trying to figure out how I could fit that cannon, that cosmic rust cannon, into the team, and I think I figured it out. So I'm gonna go pick with it a little bit. Might see if I got any replays of how it played out. Primarily because I really like the concept. I really do like the concept of that rust cannon. But so I wound up making my 3 pulls, and I thought about it after I started making pulls. But let me actually switch over to my live account, and that's not the right one. That's the right one. So this is actually on my live account right now, and I went to go make my pulls earlier, and I said I probably should have saved it this stream, do a couple of giveaways and stuff like that. But I didn't get anything I wanted. I really didn't, and the problem is I was looking to try to see if I can get Lancelon, and that's what I pulled, guys. So I'm not gonna lie to you, I was a little disappointed about that. I wound up pulling Tiger Chest first, and I already knew it was gonna go bad from there because, uh, you know, I'm not solely against combats that go specifically on one bot. But I was like, I still don't think I'm gonna use, even though I got the 5-star Death Source. I mean, am I gonna pull them out and run them in wars? Probably not. But I did get Groundhog, so that was good. You want to put him on defense, and then I got Beto, and I said, oh man, like I don't even have a 5-star version, a Shockwave to try to really maximize on the power he's got. And then I left Gabu and Lancelon sitting there. So I was like, man, I started thinking about it, and I was like, with these new weapons, I might have been better off just waiting until I got those 5-star weapons in the batch, just because I, I really do want to use that Cosmic Rust Cannon. So today, I was actually playing around a little bit in War, and well, actually, let me show you how I loaded them up. So I actually wound up. I know last week I was saying I had went in there and got Impactor, and what I actually wound up doing is I wound up loading up this Cosmic Rust Blaster on Nemesis Prime. So when I did that, I was doing it pretty much in support of the other bots that I got on my team. So, and a lot of people actually was talking to one of my one of my good buddies earlier, and he was talking about how I use KO a lot in support, and you guys seen that loadout a bunch of times. But what I started doing is because I use Fireland and because I use his acid ability, it actually works really well with that Cosmic Rust Cannon. So and then I got Bludgeon, and I'm using for primarily as a shield, but he's done doing his electrical damage. So I kind of started comboing all that stuff with the Cosmic Rust Cannon, and I want to go take a look at a couple of war replays and see how that played out. And, my war wasn't too clean today. As I said, I made plenty of mistakes, but I was just kind of just getting through it. So I like the one thing I like about that Cosmic Rust Cannon was that it's got that large range, and so it actually goes through really really quickly when you're using. If you can get some of that AOE from Fireline up there as well, yeah, it's top shot for you guys on the Autobot side, and it just really kind of clears those areas quickly. So I started looking around and saying, because I was using Impactor, and even though I really like Impactor a lot, there were a lot of times where he was just starting to fall behind. So I said, you know what? I know where I can use this because I was really trying to having a hard time trying to figure out where to use that Cosmic Rust Cannon. And so after I made my pulls today, I was like, man, maybe I should have just, if I had known I was definitely not going to get Lancelon, I probably should have went and just and just waited because I would have had three pulls for the I'd have had three pulls to try to go get the Cosmic Rust Cannon once that batch or the Cosmic Rust Blaster once that started. I need to donate. So while I'm talking to you guys, let me see what's going on in the chat. Jacada said she was Meryl said she was burning down the test server. Yeah, sometimes it seems like that might be the right choice. We all get really strong in our opinions out there, so yeah, nah, I get it. But nah, it's just they actually sent us another bill in the email. So when I got the email, I was like, oh, cause I was like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to run my stream tonight either, even though most of my stream gonna be on my live account. But it is. Ooh, nah, I don't want to do that. I'll run some. I'll run some Z Energon for that donation. Let's see what else we got going in the chat. Yeah, Mike Berge says you pull like I do, get the exact opposite of what I want. Man, at this point, I'm just used to it. That's why I had started hoarding up for a little bit. And if I would have thought about it, man, because this is what also pissed me off. Because when we had all the confusion about the about when they were going to drop weapons batches and when they were going to drop a actual combat, like I was working on that half shell, and I think I showed you guys in a previous stream, and I was actually using Lancelon on half shell just because of the timer. The timer helps keep them back because it's every 6 seconds. So I said, well, I'm gonna get him a little bit damaged too, and I had actually built this guy all the way up to level 8 as a 4-star, and they was like, oh, he's in the batch today, and I was just going through one of my team chats, and I was like, oh, thought I had a little bit more time to try to go build up some combat spark, and that is not the case. So, but I'm not that far off though. When I go look at it, I can probably get another pull, and I probably can get, realistically speaking, by the time March comes, I probably can get another 3 pulls in there. So I ain't tripping too bad. And then say hopefully I can use one of them, come back and get Lancelon, and hopefully one of those pulls will actually be for the Cosmic Rust Blaster. And I see Dennis Smoke joined us, another good friend and fellow content creator. Make sure you check him out, guys. And I see I got I am not Optimus Prime on there. Thanks for joining. Yeah, that's one of our developers and stuff. So make sure if you got the hard questions, go in there and ask him because he the one building all the stuff. Let's see. Chris Harmon pulled the 5-star Lance Alon and says he's awesome. So that's good. I said I'm glad somebody got him. It won't me. I saw a lot of people pulling him, and I saw a lot of people pulling him on the first pull, and I was like, yeah, that's not my life, man. I think everything I really wanted, I got on the fourth or fifth pull. I'm actually happy when I get something in the fourth pull, man, because usually it's the fifth pull for me. I got to clear the whole batch to get anything I actually want. So I be using that stuff. Um, Big Joe asked, had I maxed God Neptune? So I just maxed out God Neptune today, man. And I used them. I used them for the first time in war, and I was like, dog. Like I tested them. I test everything that comes through, but I used them in war today. Let me see. I think I used them for the first time. I used them for the first time, and I know I used them in base 4. Dude is like that though, man. Dude is like that. I really like him a lot. I just maxed him out today. I used my last 3 skips to upgrade him to 25. And you'll see in this war replay, man, like I turn him loose, man. He does so much damage, man. I'm glad I went for a lot of those bots and got all the pieces, so I ain't have to worry about it. Cause dude is incredible. Waza asked, "Had I seen the MK3 crystals?" Yeah, I just noticed that. I just noticed that when I logged in earlier today. So yeah, I like my battle boost a lot. Think that I don't know. I think those are the ones that I typically like the least. I say I like to get the Crimzeeks and stuff like that. But I think I was talking to Trap the other day. And he was talking about how using those MK3 incendiaries along with how he was using those and comboing them with like Acid Storm and stuff like that works pretty well. So I ain't gonna be pressed about them, but it is something that's available. Candyman says he'd give me some of his 5-star shards, but the apes won't allow it. Hey, look, man, like you want to talk about something that will create some whale squads at that point? That'll do it if everybody could just give away crystals. I know there's a lot of people that get a bunch of them because let's be honest, a lot of times once you get to a certain level, you got all the bots you need. So I'm definitely gonna save some of my 5-star crystals. I already started. I still got Sentius Malice left in the batch, but I'm probably not gonna go for them right away. I'm gonna rank up my war squad, and yeah, that's how I'm gonna approach that. Let's see. Waza says I need the apes to activate my content creator RNG. Nah, cause yeah, I don't have that kind of luck. I be seeing you on your streams, man. Man, let me go borrow Mirage Shake, have him open my crystals for me, bro. uh, yeah, yeah, and Chris, you did tell me God Neptune was awesome. And I say, man, like when I use him on the actual game, not on the test server, but on the actual game for the first time today, man, I was like, I say, yeah, they got the God part right in God Neptune, man. I tell you what, man, he's like that. But yeah, man, but yeah, so I'm gonna go mess around here, get me a couple of attacks in. So yeah, that's my war squad. I need to start setting myself up for the events because a lot of times what I'll do is I'll try to power level a lot of different bots, and I'm trying to decide who I actually want to level this time. I'm gonna go through my War Squad bots first. So Bludgeon's max, and granted, I'll still use them to power level other bots. So whenever we do have an increase in, when we do actually have an increase in um, levels, bot levels, then I'll have all that carryover. Then I got Run Amok. He just got to 67 today. And I actually want to change his loadout at some point, but I don't know. Do I actually have his G? I don't think I have his G1 yet. That's what, well, I don't have it in. I don't have his G1 and G metal yet, and that's what I'm waiting on because I got it in gold. Now I might change that out, but I can do a little bit of leveling with him. Knockout, I already got maxed out. I can use him for support. And actually, now that I got that groundhog, I'll probably swap that out for the double crosser that I got up there. I do want to bump up half shell a little bit. I think if I focus on it, I'll probably carry him up. He's almost at 66. I'll probably get him to at least 67 this weekend. Hook's almost at level 69. I think I should definitely carry Acid Storm to 69, at least level 69. I might try to max out Slipstream this weekend because she's almost at level 69, and I might as well carry her to 70. So how do I want to set my squads up for that? So I'm gonna start off with Ramjet. I'll start off with Ramjet. Now probably usually when I do something like that with Ramjet, what I'll do is I'll come in with Astro Train for backup, and I'll take somebody else that can actually, this junk heap could use some work. So let me try this. I got him up to level 8 for ability and 51. So what I think I might try to do is something like this. Because I try to stay in zone 15. And even though I'm not gonna have the Titans during my battles. I usually like to try to do something like this. I usually try to go run Ramjet just directly to the HQ. Oops, didn't mean to do that. I usually run him to HQ and usually follow up with the Astro Train attack. But I also want to put some levels on, and it's not going to work here because I just thought about it because I got that FFD. So what I'll probably do is just keep healing with Astro Train and try to knock down HQ like that. Which, which if I had thought about the FFD, I probably would have been good. So might actually just run that one back again. And Mercenary Terror says that the Quintus on air class confuses him. So my logic behind it is this. So I use it on air raid. I mean, well, the Autobot version is air raid. I use it on Slipstream primarily because she's squishy. But when I do that, would I do that because I'll start off with this. Quintus needs to be on your team regardless. Now I know a lot of people get into the combos when they would just use they want to use Axe, so they'll use um, like Taraxodon or something like that. But for me, I look at it from the standpoint of the bot is going to only have, they're only going to have 7 seconds of those sharks. So I use those 7 seconds as a means of attack, and then they're going to be gone anyway. But what you'll see, and I'll actually show it up here on screen in a bit, if you got a good detonator for Slipstream, those sharks will just start to pop up all over the place. And because I use Singe on the war team, and Singe is going to cost you to creep up if you're a Singe or a pinpointer user, like I am. But but it's an opportunity to get the straight up healing off of um, off of the attack, and that those sharks will actually add to that healing. And so for me, in a situation like this, like I actually run this team because as an example, and even though Tantrum is not very good anymore, um, I like to use some of my rush tanks to kind of just use them for aggro for the best part, use them to do their job. And so when I do that, when I do that, the support piece coming in with, damn, I keep doing that by accident. The support piece coming in with Slipstream, it keeps her protected with all those sharks. Like you can see her taking on an entire group of minions right there. And she becomes very hard to kill. She's usually one of my bots that stays around on my war team late in battles because of those sharks. And I'm actually just gonna let her walk at this point, just drawing all the fire from, and because you're using that ability to detonate a bunch of stuff, you're always gonna have a bunch of sharks, and you're also always gonna have you're always gonna have a bunch of health. Like she goes from being one of the squishier bots in the game to always having full health, and those sharks add on to that Singe ability. So that's why I use it on that particular air class bot. I don't like before that I was using it on Cutthroat. That works very well, especially because Cutthroat has certain animations that that just work well. But yeah, that's why I do it. But I don't. And you can see even now she's still kicking. So it does work. I don't suggest it on every air class bot, but that's one of the air class bots that I do like using it on. Yeah, Chris Harmon tried it and says Quintus Singe is awesome. And yeah, there goes. I don't know if you can hear him or not. Deceptidog is out there tripping out. Deceptidog seen another dog that was walking too close to the house, so he back there a little upset right now. All right, so let's see. Let's see what's going on in the chat. I see that. So Big Blade asked the question: Can Run Amok still use its friction rifle with the ranged combats? So the answer to that is yes. Um, so a lot of bots that have those kind of animations, what they'll do is they'll use the friction rifle intermittently. So let me see where I got him at because I got a team that I typically use for him. So I'm gonna use. I've been actually was leveling him a lot with Quelagon on my event teams, and it just kind of protects them both because Run Amok will use his shield and ability kind of slow down any damage that Quelagon takes when he goes into clusters. So that's been working out for me a lot. But you can actually see, like right here, I've got the 4-star fracas on him, and at the same time, he's still going to use that friction rifle. You can actually see it under the effect right there, and then boom. And as long as I don't have a FFD, I can give both of them some protection, and both of these guys are going to sit pretty high on health for a bit. Uh, then I can just keep spamming out with Run Amok's ability. You know, Queller Guns takes 20 seconds, and so I wind up just beating a lot of bases just like that. If I get stunned, it's cool because I because well, I mean, for Queller Gun, he's a warrior class, but for Run Amok, it's not going to be taking much damage at all. So I think I might be able to stick around with a lot of the event teams that I got already and be good. But I think I'm going to use. I had just been power leveling a lot of bots just straight up and just leveling the same bots over and over again. I probably won't do that this time, the entire time, because to be honest with you, I want to get my points in really quickly this go around. But yeah, Candyman says he maxed half shell last weekend, and then yeah, you've been putting in some work, man, because that's like, uh, I think you get, I think it was the day you got all your war bots at Sergeant now. So yeah, and so that's the question that's coming up also. So Big Blade asked the question of who to consider for captain. So, and this is just my personal opinion, but I usually do this. I usually start with any of my bots that I'm going to use for protection first. So I'm probably going to start with Bludgeon. That's the tank that I use on my war team. And he's already pretty stout. I don't really have to worry about him really for anything. He's at 50k health, and damage is good when I added Zori to him, stuff like that. My issue is this: with a lot of the players that got a lot of a lot of the big spenders in the game, and not saying anything against them, nothing wrong with that at all. But a lot of them are going to wind up having a good advantage on offense and defense. So when you look at it, and I got to go rank something up to captain, I always go with my bots that can protect the rest of my team first. So in my case, it's going to be Bludgeon. In some capacity, it's going to be Run Amok, but that's going to be a real limited capacity because I'm depending solely on his ability when there are no FFDs present. So for me, plus he's got the ability to you know have 100% damage immunity. So and then I got Nemesis Prime that I added back in there as well. So that's gonna help out. So I won't need per se to go out there and yeah, I won't need them for that. And I'll actually kind of show off. You already saw some of my war attempts, but you can actually see how I've been using my team in this attack right now. So for me, even though on my particular team, but I've been telling anybody this that'll listen. I say I always go when I'm trying to buff something like that. I always go for the I always go for my high health bots first, my protectors first. And so that'll help you, and then you can just kind of build around it. So like for me, I'll probably do bludgeon first, and then I might slip around, and then I got to decide from there because I want to do one of my bots that's got some high attack. It might be half shell. We'll kind of see. But I definitely feel like bludgeon's gonna be my first one, and I can use that with the skips that I get this weekend when I complete the event. But I got a lot of protection out here, especially I said I missed my Nemesis Prime for the little bit of time that I was using them on wars. I said I did miss him, but I just found and I've been just searching around a lot for different ways to go about building my team, and a lot of people not always going to agree with it, but that's cool. But I said I like what I got right now, especially after I got half shell. I was just like, shoot, man, dude, he's half shell is definitely he's him. So I ain't mad at that one bit. That's the only thing about playing on my actual live account, though, is because I got a mirroring software that I use, and it can be choppy at times as compared to using it on the test server. So let's see what's going on in the chat real quick. Let's see. Big Joe says all of his 5 stars are corporal. Only thing is who to give sergeant rank to, and that's a big thing too, man. Almost all of mine's are corporal, and I don't have very many sergeants. And a couple of bots that I actually leveled up to sergeant are I thought would be on my war team for a long time, and then the game just changed and they not. Like I got blast off that I don't use anymore as a sergeant. Do I have? No, I got impact as a corporal. I can't even think of who else I put up there. It's not Hook, is it? Yeah, Hook is a sergeant, but eventually he'll come off my team too. So it's a bunch of bots that I'm not even going to use every war, because I hadn't got the crystals for it. So once that converter gets running, I'm gonna end up I'm gonna end up getting some. So I'm starting to save mines and just not use them. Obviously, I just pulled T2 and I just pulled half shell, and that's probably gonna be it for me for a little while, unless something changes where I desperately need something. But I'm sitting just under 4K right now. I'll get some during this event. We'll see how it goes. Goodness gracious, Big Joe got 12 sergeants right now. That's crazy. Yeah, I ain't got that many. Okay, Chris Harmon said his Acid Storm barely dies since I should go and put him in on the setup. Big Blade asked me how's the Tripticon doing. So for me, Tripticon, because the reason why kept using Tripticon is because I keep using all of my attacks on the base. Now when I go use the new Titan, I'm actually gonna flip over to the test account real quick and take a final look at the new Titan. Uh, so let's see. That'll be on BlueStacks. All right, so that'll go back to my test account. And once I get the Nemesis, my Titan is gonna be the Nemesis. Like we looked at it a little bit last week, but like it's, it's the attacks are pretty versatile. But I was like I like how I like the passives on this thing more than probably anything else. And I need to maximize my screen there. But I like that more than anything else, just because these passives are going to play into a lot of things that I got going on. So I probably won't use the resistance as much as I'll probably use. Let's see, as I'll probably use. Well, those are for the Titan itself. As it might have been the Inspires I was thinking about. I do know I like that Essence Drive. That was tough, and that's because that's doing boosting bot attacks while you're over 50%. So that's cool. But a lot of this stuff, man, is just a lot of this stuff is going to combo really well with stuff that I already use. So like when I use these fire attacks and I'm using my attacks, uh, and when if I defeat the Titan, I want to see how that's gonna go. If I defeat the Titan and it starts using those attacks on the base, then I can actually be able to use them and combo off of them. Same thing with Shattering Rain, and I forgot the name of this one. It's Energo Beam. So yeah, I think that I'm going, and I think that just made. Did I make the game crash? I think I had this problem last week too. I can't get the Inspire to work. Yeah, so I mean, I can see Harvest and getting the life steal off of it, or the Flames of War, and that's what I'm really gonna like when I get to that point because that's gonna combo really well with my teams. So I'm actually gonna try it right now. Blade 19 asked to see my setup for Bludgeon. Sure. Man, and when they reset the test server, it actually reset all my teams too. So I'm gonna have to actually go back in there and set that back up. But what I'm using right now for Bludgeon is I'm actually using Onyx Prime. And I'm using Onyx Prime primarily because it allows me to be lazy. It allows me to put them on the battlefield, and even if I go and get caught by like a motion sensing mine, which is usually the case because a lot of times I'll sweep MSMs with bludgeon. It'll allow him to sit there and just get hit, and once he goes below 50%, you know, he'll just have some damage resistance. And then once that once that Onyx Prime is activated, even if you go use your max health boost and it goes back above 50%, you'll still have that attempt that you'll still have that damage boost and damage resistance as well. So I know a lot of people have been using like the Liege Maximo and stuff like that. I really like my Onyx Prime just because it suits my playstyle, and that's why I always tell people there's obviously multiple ways to play the game, but my playstyle is very unique in a lot of regards to how a lot of the top players are playing in the game right now. So for me, I base a lot of my stuff off of patience, and so the Onyx Prime Core allows me to be more patient in my approach before I go just spamming his max health boost. And then the Zori is just there for the additional damage just because um, he's got decent damage for a warrior class bot, and so I like to try to just get some AoE damage around that, in addition to the electrical damage he's already doing. So, uh, two asked to see the arc. I don't got an Autobot account, so yeah, I don't got an Autobot account to show the arc on. I thought about requesting one, but I was like, man, you know what? I said we got Waza. I let Waza go in there and show. 'Cause I know he's got accounts for both. Uh, but I was like, man, for some, I'll say this. A lot of times when I go in the play test and we get something new, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm ready to play. But then I realize I gotta actually upgrade all my stuff, and it's like, and I say to myself, do I actually want to do that twice? Because I do a lot of gameplay tutorials and stuff like that when I'm looking at new stuff. So I was just like, you know what? Nah, bro, I'm good. I'll just keep my con account. But make no mistake, if I would have asked Space Ape to go give me one, they give me a second account to go do content on. So that's the only thing. When stuff like Titans comes out or combiners and stuff like that, I don't get to show both though. So all right, let's see. I guess I put them out of order, but I guess I can put Nemesis Prime in there, and I want to. I'll use the 5-star for this one. Mercenary Terror says that if Bison ever gets one. I say I like how you did that. You just said Bison because you know I'll say Iron Bison, but you know kill Bison. If he ever gets a 5 star, I have to review him 100%. And you know, it's probably about a month ago. You know, I did that one stream where I was just talking about slow down and speed up bots and stuff like that. And I was like, man, dude's dude's a little underrated. I think they'll probably. I think if they ever give him well, they will eventually probably give him a 5 star because at some point he's going to have to go into. Some point he's going to have to go into badge so we can go start getting 5 star. 5 star when we ever get to the point where we need 5 star combiners. So that's one good thing. But I think they will probably give him a massive buff before they do, just because you know he's a little underrated. I love what his ability does though. I really like what he does a lot. Um, but it's just one of those things that just doesn't catch on. People don't do speed up and slow downs a lot in this game, so we have to find a way to popularize them before we get to that point. But yeah, I think this Titan's gonna be legit, man. My good buddy Ripping Grip says half shield is gonna be his focus for the over the coming weekend. Yeah, man, it's just taking me so long to level everybody to 70, so I'm gonna get everybody up about a level or two, and then I'm probably just call it. Wait until the endurance event, and then take them over to 70. So I'll probably, I'll probably put most of my work in tomorrow, and then call it. And I see my good friend Fox the Bomb and moderator friend join. Thanks for joining. Yeah, and that would be cool, man. Like if they could somehow highlight the bots that have been rank upgraded, then yeah, that would be nice. Just Elite said he ain't even got any bots above 65. Man, I'm telling you, trying to get to 70 is tough, man. Like for me, because like I complete the events and get my prizes and stuff like that, man. But I just, I try to complete as much as I can in like a day, man. So like if I don't, and a lot of people can be like, hey, man, like the 50K that you need for this weekend, that's easy, and it is. But sometimes I just don't feel like it, man. A lot of times I'm just sitting there and I'm like, nah, man, like I'd rather go out. I'd rather go run the town or whatever. Watch football all day Sunday. So like I always try to, and especially in the fall, man, I always try to finish all my stuff before Sunday, if at all possible. And I actually got a busy day tomorrow. So normally that'll be the time when like by the time I even leave work, I'll be sitting at about 30, 40K, but that's probably not going to be the case tomorrow. I'll figure it out. I'll probably be real busy Saturday morning. I just let my dudes get hacked. I'm really just trying to see the missiles on this Titan attack real quick. Yeah, Educator says work on Friday causes too many delays. Yeah, man, that's like, you know what? I said work getting in the way of my Transformers Earth Wars career, man. Like, I don't know why work won't just let me be great. But yeah, I noticed that a lot of people, to your point though, a lot of people's points come on Saturday. They just get up on Saturday, and next thing you know, they just put up like a bunch of points. So yeah, that would probably be my Saturday. I don't want it to be, but it probably will be my Saturday. Man, these Titan attacks are actually really, man, they made them look really good visually too. Man, I think I'm gonna like this thing a lot. Nah, I say Big Joe is heading out for the night. I'm about to head out for the night too, for real. But yeah, man, thanks for stopping by and good luck in the event this weekend, Big Joe. Just Elite says, screw work and go full time TFEW. Trust me, trust me, I would if I could. I'm actually starting to plan some of my next career stuff right now, and that's taking up a bunch of my time in the background as well too. But I just kind of just hammer through that stuff like slowly throughout the week on weekdays, and then a little bit on the weekend. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. I know I was talking to some of you guys in the chat earlier about how it's my last year in the military and stuff like that. So, uh, yeah, I'm trying to actually get into instructional design, and it actually is cool because it utilizes a lot of the skills that I learned from making content. So, a lot of the video editing and all the stuff, a lot of the programs that I use are also going to be used in my career outside of the military. So, it's going to be pretty lit. But all right, guys, I think I'm gonna call it a night. Thank you for joining. I'll be on again next week. It's still I'm gonna stick to the Thursdays until the basketball season ends. So make sure to tune in Thursday at 7, and I will see you there. And I'll see you on the battlefield, hopefully with your new Titan. So I'll see you guys next time. Freezy is out.